Paramount Pictures saw that the Friday the 13th films were giving him a bad rep, they decided to end the embarrassment by making a final film where Jason can finally be put to rest. Friday the 13th Part 4, the final chapter, is kind of like a breath of fresh air for the series. They finally leave the camp setting, and instead of having an ensemble cast, we have an actual cast with main characters, just like most other horror films do. Although the first two films got boring at times, this film is engaging and never ends up boring the audience, just like the third film. Everything about this film is much more superior to any other film in the entire series. The characters are a lot better, the acting's a lot better, the kills are a lot better. In fact, there's nothing wrong with it at all. We are introduced to Tommy Jarvis, who basically becomes a staple for the next few films, just like Jamie Lloyd did in the Halloween movies and how Alice Johnson did in the Nightmare on Elm Street movies. The dialogue is surprisingly well written as well. Tommy Jarvis is a little boy played by Corey Feldman. Tommy is obsessed with creating his own practical horror effects like masks and moving faces. He can be a little annoying at times, but is still extremely likable. The story is essentially about these 6 teenagers who move into a house opposite Tommy Jarvis's. Jason then soon comes along and starts killing everybody because it wouldn't be a Friday the 13th movie if he didn't. There is also a character called Rob Dyer who is hunting down Jason because Jason killed his sister Sandra, who's in the second film. There's also a pre-Back to the Future Crispin Glover in the film, whose performance is just summed up with this one dance. Don't ask me to stay. Don't think you got it made, no. You're wrong. 'Cause you can't make it anymore. I know what you're waiting for. I should turn away and walk right out that door because I know.
Hey, how come you turned that off?
Jason gets some really good kills in the film, like when he throws someone out the window. My only problem with the deaths is that we never really see Jason doing them. He's always hiding behind the character behind the camera, so we just see a wound or something appear on the person. One other problem I have is how stupid Tommy's sister Trish is. She does the worst possible things she could possibly do. When she sees Jason killing someone right in front of her, she stands there until he stops killing them. Then when she opens the door and sees a body on the floor, instead of climbing over it, she runs to a different room and goes through the window. Also, it never occurs to her that she could just get in the car with Tommy and leave. No, they have to stay there for some stupid reason. At the end, when Tommy sees Jason move, he goes finishes off the job. Then she starts screaming, "Tommy, no! Why the fuck are you screaming? He's basically saving you and you're screaming telling him to stop. What, you dropped out the window on your head when you were a baby?" Most fans, including me, think that the film could have wrapped the series up perfectly, and that there wasn't really any need for more sequel. Jason's death seemed the most possible, just like in Halloween H2O, when they actually wanted to end the series by decapitating Michael Myers. In this film, Jason is stabbed in the head and you see him slide down the knife. When he slides down the knife, it's just one of my favourite moments in the entire series. So, do I like this film? Well, as I've said before, not only do I like this film, I think it's the best in the entire series, and I'm not just saying that because it's generally the fan favourite. Friday the 13th Part 4 is a great slasher that isn't too cheesy and isn't too serious. It managed to get the right level of each. As a final chapter, this would have been a great way to end the series. But if something makes a lot of money, it doesn't stay dead, and less than a year later we were given a new beginning. I give this film an A-.